Oh my gosh, guys, we're going to Japan! I'm so excited and I'm already packing. I just want to make sure that I know all the rules.
Hey, don't worry about the rules in Japan. You got a free pass as a foreigner. As long as you have fun in Japan, that's what matters. Japanese are really kind. They won't mind if you make mistakes. If that's the case, why are you watching this video? There is only one reason. Because you are a civilized, educated human being who wants to try their best to respect and learn about the cultures of others. That or you don't want to be in the news. Either way, sayang, I am proud of you for doing proper research on YouTube before going to Japan. I myself am actually going to travel there at the end of March for 10 days to visit my host family. So before that, let's revisit the terrific mistakes that I have made the last time I was there so that you don't have to. You're welcome. And you get to be the good gaijin in Japan. All of the timestamps are in the descriptions. Ja, let's get started. 1. Train. 電車. Do not bring large luggage to Japan. Now, this is especially important if you're planning to travel in Japan with a bullet train or a Shinkansen. And the reason behind that is because since 2020, all luggages that are above 160 centimeters must make a prior reservation before boarding the train. And if you don't, the penalty is 1,000 yen. You can buy so many things with that, like, I don't know, 1,000 yen chopsticks? And if you think that is the worst case scenario, think again. Because if you bring a luggage that is more than 250 cm, you are officially banned from even boarding the train. And this number, of course, represents the total sum of the height, length, and width of the luggage. Wonderful, owns a human-sized luggage. But fortunately for you, it is free to book both luggage and seat reservations for both normal ticket and JR Pass. I've linked the reservation site below in the descriptions. Now, JR Pass have designated the back row of the seats as the oversized luggage space area, so if you do bring oversized luggage, make sure to book those specific seats. Do not eat on public transport. Try not to do that unless you enjoy being stared at with contempt or you are on a bullet train. If you're on a Shinkansen, you are more than welcome and actually encouraged to do so. Just that since COVID, I think there aren't really any food carts on a train, so make sure to get yourself something to eat before you board the train. 駅弁がうまいですよ. Do not speak loudly on the train. You probably already know this, to not speak loudly on any public transport, but if you think that you can get away with this, you are mistaken, because I didn't. Me and my friend during an exchange student program in Japan, so we were on a bullet train and we were really excited that we are visiting our host family for the first time. And you would think that it's not possible for a 16-year-old me to be dumber than I am right now, but I was. And we were chatting away throughout the whole trip. We did not search up anything about Japanese etiquette before going to Japan. And there was this poor Japanese businessman right next to us, trying his best to wait for this monstrosity to stop, and it didn't. And in the end, he had to call the staff to come and let us know, to really kindly let us know, to stop talking. And we just felt that silent throughout the rest of the way. We just felt so guilty towards everyone around us. And till this day, I still wonder what would have happened if I have just searched on YouTube what not to do in Japan. 2. Meal. 食事. Do not lean on the table with your elbow. Good posture is really important, and especially so in Japan. So try not to do that, and if it's really hard, it's perfectly fine to lean with your front arms on the table. Do not stick chopsticks in your food. Shin, another cliche. Or is it? Many videos and even articles state that it's a Japanese custom to not stick chopstick in your food because it is similar to the ritual we do in a funeral. Although this is true, it is not only limited to Japanese culture. In fact, this is true for most countries across Asia, especially those that are heavily influenced by Buddhism. I myself, as a Malaysian Chinese, was actually told off by my relative for ridiculously sticking chopsticks in my food during a funeral. So try not to stick chopsticks in your food or pass food from one chopstick to another, and just don't do anything with a chopstick that you wouldn't do with a fork and spoon. Do not forget to say いただきます and ごちそうさまでした. Nobody would hit you with a sleeper for this, but it's always nice to see appreciation from foreigners and Japanese before and after a meal. いただきます can be translated into I humbly receive, where いただく as a verb is a humble term for to get or to receive. And fun fact, いただきます can also be used as a formal way of saying thank you when receiving a physical gift from someone. It doesn't have to be food related. But でも is a really formal way of saying thank you, so it's more suited when you are receiving a physical gift from, let's say, your boss or someone that you've just met. On the other hand, ごちそうさまでした literally means it was a great feast, right? ごちそう means feast, and でした signifies past tense because you say it after you finish a meal. You can also use ごちそうさまでした as a way of thanking someone when they are covering the bill. So don't forget to say いただきます before a meal and ごちそうさまでした after a meal. 3. Bath お風呂 On to the highlight of this video. Do not drain the bathtub. If you're going to be staying with a host family or generally just with Japanese, make sure to not drain the bathtub after using it because it's a common practice in Japan as a family to share the same bath water. And it is perfectly hygienic because everyone makes sure to shower and clean themselves first before heading to the bathtub just to soak. This is the one time that I'm proud to say that I didn't embarrass myself because my friend did, and I learned from her secondhand embarrassment. So, Husna, if you're watching this,
Thank you.
which leads to do not enter the bath without showering. This applies for baths and hot springs. Make sure to clean yourself up first and shower before entering. And I'm not going to dwell on this because it really is just common sense. Now here are some bonuses. Do not make loud noises at night. I need answers for this. So I was told during my exchange student program to try not to go to the toilet at late night because it might disturb my family. And so during my first homestay in Japan, it was midnight and I really had to go. But I held myself in for I think at least another 2 hours. Only to hear the sound of the toilet flushing and the door closing. So, is it really that taboo for us to go to the toilet late at night in Japan? If you have the answer for this, please let me know in the comments so that I can sleep better at night. Do not stand on the wrong side of the escalator. This is the same for all countries and it's the same for Japan. But generally in Japan, if it's in Tokyo for example, make sure that you stand on the left so that people who are rushing can go to the right. But demo. So if you're in Osaka for example, stand on the right hand side instead. And ultimately just observe the people in front of you. それじゃあ I think that is all for today. I'm not going to cover things like eating while walking or do not litter or do not wear shoes inside the house and change into sleepers when you have to because I think you already know that. And wait, I just covered that. But if I miss out anything, share your wisdom down below because we need as much information as possible to be the good gaijin. じゃあ、また来週
I asked my mom to hit me with the sleeper, and I think she has never been happier because since 24 hours ago, she has been washing this sleeper, and she just told me, "This looks like the perfect slipper to hit you with."